$1 million, free to play. You just need to survive. It's the Fanatics NFL Survivor Pool. Pick one team to win each week. Get it right, move on. Get it wrong, you're out. The last fan standing take home a guaranteed $1 million cash prize. And for every player who joins, we add $1 to the pot, up to $10 million. The Fanatics NFL Survivor Pool. Play free on the Fanatics app. App access open to all. Must be 21 plus and joined by 9/8 to play. No purchase necessary. U.S. only. Void where prohibited. Subject to complete terms. See fanatics.com/game rules.
This episode is brought to you by LifeLock. Between two-factor authentication, strong passwords, and a VPN, you try to be in control of how your info is protected. But many other places also have it, and they might not be as careful. That's why LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points a second for threats. If your identity is stolen, they'll fix it, guaranteed, or your money back. Save up to 40% your first year. Visit LifeLock.com/podcast for 40% off. Terms apply.
Hello, my name is Damon Friedman, co-founder and president of SOF Missions. As a 20-year veteran within Special Operations, I've gone through many challenges due to my military service and time in combat. We felt called to start SOF Missions to serve our fellow brothers and sisters in arms, focusing on suicide prevention and resiliency. Our mission at SOF Missions is to empower warriors to find purpose and be resilient. Since 2011, when we started the organization, almost 3 million men and women have deployed to Iraq and Afghanistan. Unfortunately, the scars of war take a toll on their psychological, physical, social, and spiritual health. Many veterans feel a sense of hopelessness and a loss of purpose when they return to civilian life. They feel isolated and alone, unable to reconnect. And in the greatest of tragedies, over 20 veterans lose all hope and take their own lives. Our goal at SOF Missions is to provide veterans the tools and resources so that they don't become a statistic. We offer a unique approach to combating veteran suicide through a whole health, intradisciplinary model. The Be Resilient program is a 4-pillar methodology that addresses the areas of psychological, physical, social, and spiritual wellness. We provide care through 3 delivery methods: medical clinics, retreats, and educational training. Since we started back in 2011, we have been able to reach veterans in all 50 states and have served over 3,000 veterans through the Be Resilient program. Being resilient is a multifaceted and complex issue. We know that to find a lasting solution, we have to address the whole warrior. Many challenges cannot be solved by providing the treatments and modalities of just one component, but by tackling them all. Now, we've expanded our services to include law enforcement and first responders. Together, we can make a lasting impact in the lives of warriors across the nation. To learn more, visit our website at sofmissions.org.
Proceed to your post assignment. All units proceed to your post assignment.
All right. Welcome back.
MisFitNation. The MisFitNation show.
We are a show founded by a veteran and hosted by 2 veterans and a military spouse. Our mission is to get people to tell their stories to the world. If you're an author, share your tips with the MisFitNation. If you're a musician or an actor, our audience needs to know how they too can get into the business. Coaches, we love our coaches. Come on and share your tips with the MisFitNation to help them become better versions of themselves. If you are a corporate leader or an entrepreneur, come on and show how you did it and how hard you have fought for success. If you are a veteran, first responder, or Gold Star family, we would love to have you come on and share your story with the MisFitNation. We always have time for you. If you're feeling down, alone, or starting to see the darkness, stop. Think about those who are around you. You are not alone. You will be missed. If you feel like your problems will be a burden to those in your inner circle or feel embarrassed, dial 988. If you are a veteran, take option 1. We need you to keep pushing forward. Don't make a permanent solution to a temporary problem. If you are a new listener, welcome to the MisFitNation show. Be sure to subscribe to our show on your favorite podcast app. Also on our YouTube channel, at @the_MisFitNation. Subscribe and click the bell to keep you up to date on our latest episodes and all of our news. You can also find us on Heroes Media Group and About Face Radio. Now, let's get to the show!
All right. Welcome back to the MisFitNation show. It's your Sunday after dinner edition. I know you have other places you could be, like Sunday night football starting right now with your Baltimore Ravens about to play, but you're here with us. So thank you for taking that time to hang out with us and understand that you are part of the MisFitNation. You're the reason why we get up on Sundays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays and do this show. Thank you for being who you are and collecting those frequent flyer miles. Tonight, we have no bad news to send you, except that the Giants lost again to start a season. So it's going to be another one of those seasons. But hopefully your teams did well this weekend. But we have a great guest this week. He's a returning guest. And I think it's been 2 years since he was on. Last time I seen him was at a veterans breakfast. But I know he's been doing great things through the Clarksville Leadership Program. He's an author. He's a speaker. He's a United States Army veteran. He's a passionate communicator, a pastor, and a purpose-driven leader dedicated to helping people rise from brokenness into divine purpose. As an Army veteran, community leader, and discipleship pastor, he combines real-world experience with biblical insight to empower individuals to live fully aligned with God's path. With a heart for transformation and a message rooted in grace, he draws from his journey through pain, identity, and restoration. His story is proof that God doesn't just heal wounds, he uses them to shape warriors, whether preaching from a pulpit, mentoring future leaders, or writing transformational content. His mission is clear: to awaken purpose, restore hope, and remind people that in the hands of God, nothing is wasted. So without further ado, let's welcome United States Army veteran, author, friend of the show, Sylvester Jenkins. Welcome, Sylvester.
Hey, what's going on, Rich, man? How you doing today?
Good. It's great to have you back. Like I said, last time I seen you was at the Veterans Breakfast. I think Dakota Meyer or somebody was speaking to us that day at Operation Stand Down Breakfast. That was a couple of years ago. So it's great to see you again here. I've seen you on Facebook, of course, but of course we both have busy lives. And it's hard to run into each other. How are you doing?
Absolutely, man. I'm doing wonderful, man. I'm blessed, man. And I greatly appreciate you having me on the show today, man. And I'm looking forward to our conversation.
Outstanding. I gave the elevator's pitch speech about you right there, Sylvester. I want you to take it back, wrap it up, and get on that pulpit and preach to us for a little bit about you.
So in a nutshell, man, I'm a servant of the Most High, right? I was born in a single parent home. I experienced circumstances, man, that could have easily defined the rest of my life. I found myself where I did drugs, sold drugs, ran with gangs, grew up in a broken environment, and I was just chasing a sense of identity, purpose, security, but most of all, just a sense of acceptance, right? So I joined the military looking for all four of those things. And through many years, combat and everything else, man, I noticed that we as soldiers, right, we are prepared for the seen battles, but we're never prepared, but we're always unprepared for the unseen battles, right? Those emotional struggles and the family pressures and the anxiety, the depression, and all those other things, man, which kind of catapulted me to doing the things that I do now. So that's a little bit about me and where I am today.
Definitely. And we talked about in the green room about helping people get out of that foxhole. And you heard us talk about if you feel like you're going into darkness, don't make that permanent solution to a temporary problem. We're both on that same line, trying to help our brothers and sisters as they fight through the things that stop when you leave the service or stop when you leave whatever you were doing before. And now you have to figure out what to do with your hands. A lot of our brothers and sisters don't make it past first base with that because the darkness takes them over and they don't know how to get out of it. They're afraid to pick up that phone and dial 988 or reach out to a friend because they're embarrassed. And that's where guys like yourself step up and help them. How does that impact you helping them, knowing that you also needed that help before?
Yeah, absolutely. I think, this is a way to pay it forward, man, and give back. I found myself at a position where I was in those same situations. On my third deployment to Iraq, I came back home. I experienced the acrimonious divorce. I came back home. My car was gone. The house was empty. Bank account drained. And also, I lost a good friend of mine while I was on that tour due to a convoy getting hit by IED. So I just felt like I lost everything, and I resorted back to what I knew: drugs and alcohol to suppress the pain. And I wish that I had somebody like me to just come into my life and just speak life into me, man. Just tell me that this is just a chapter in my life. It's not the final story, And a lot of brothers and sisters in arms, they always find themselves at a position of thinking that this is the end. So I get the opportunity to say, hey, this is a small chapter of your life, but you get to, write your story in a different direction,
Definitely. And that's something I like to make sure they understand, that your story is not over just because you stopped wearing a uniform.
Right.
Your story is not over just because you came back from combat. Your story continues. That's a chapter. That chapter is, you had a chapter before that when you were in high school, a chapter before that when you were in grade school. And now you're a big boy or big girl now. You're a man or a woman. Now you have to do that adult thing and figure out what to do with your hands, but in a different way, and still serve your community. And I think you're doing both of those right now. You got involved with Clarksville leadership. You're doing the pastoring, the discipleship. You're a writer, author, and you're speaking. You're doing all these things to motivate others. Where do you find time to just sit back and just look at yourself and say, how did I get here?
Yeah, I kind of wonder that quite often, man. Like, I'm still humbled in my ways, man, because I feel like I'm just doing what I'm called to do. A lot of times we find ourselves in circumstances of where we don't look how far we've come dealing with all the things that we accomplished. And I'm just one of those people, man. I just putting in the content. Just the other day, my wife asked me, like, have you noticed how much of a change that you made within just the last 5 years? And I was like, I didn't even think about it. Over the last 5 years, went through Leadership Clarksville. Not only that, was able to impart knowledge and wisdom for the soldiers at Fort Campbell dealing with emotional intelligence and spiritual readiness. Not only that, I was able to travel, go across the globe in order to help train other soldiers in order to do the same thing. Then wrote multiple books, and now I'm a pastor at a church. This was never in my on my bucket list at all.
Right. None of that was on your bingo card, right?
No, none of it, brother.
And which church are you at here in Clarksville?
So I'm at Mosaic Church.
Okay. Right there on 101
Yeah.
Parkway. Yeah. All right. Yeah. That's, we assembled there during the tornado incident, of course.
Right. Yeah.
And ran out from there to help our fellow Clarksvillians get
Absolutely.
through their the worst days of their lives, and seeing the church step up to make it the response point and help the community heal from that point. That was an amazing thing to see. And you don't, unless you step back and look into that, it's hard to imagine what that feels like when you're there. Yeah. And I was asked by a reporter there, what do you feel about this? I said, look around you. I said, I'm a middle-aged person, and you got these young kids here, older people than me here, all coming out to do what they can to help people they've never met before, but they're fellow Clarksvillians, so we're going to help them.
Yeah.
And it just blew my mind.
Yeah, man, it was amazing. It was amazing to see how the city of Clarksville rallied together in that time, man. It was like, although there was a lot of devastation and a lot of destruction and lives lost, the way we came together in order to help others was just so divine and God-given.
And even today, as you drive through town, you can still see the scars of it.
Yeah.
But you know that you gave that little piece you were able to give back and help. I still see the church on 41A that still is damaged, still has a lot of damage, and just getting rebuilt now. But the pizza parlor across the street's already built, but the church is still coming back because it took care of its flock first, then it took care of itself. So yeah, that's an outstanding testament to them and the people of Clarksville.
Absolutely.
So for your latest book, what was your, the premise behind it? What made you say, I'm going to write this book and get it out there for the people? Because they need to share this. They need to see it.
Yeah, absolutely, man. So I'll just take you back to the point where I was at, right? So I don't know if you know this, but research have shown that individuals who connect who who are connected in faith-based communities are 40 times less likely to not die by suicide.
Wow.
So that alone should give you some indication of how powerful just being a follower of Christ or just being a Christian in any kind of way can help you to live a life, a fulfilling life. Now, it doesn't erase the struggles or the pains that you go through, but it does give you that sense of hope, that life that's worth living, because you can always turn your pain into purpose. And so for me, what I experienced was one of my soldiers that I had came back from a deployment with when I retired here at Fort Campbell. He took his life. Now, we came back from that deployment in 2019, and just 2 years ago, I think, it was 2 years ago yesterday, if I'm not mistaken, that he took his life. And just to think of where that young soldier was at, and you always think, like, why didn't they reach out? Why didn't they, call me or something like that? You deal with a sense of survivor's remorse as a leader, right? Because that soldier was up under your care for a period of time, and you build this relationship with them where they're like your kids. And so for me, when that happened, I was devastated. I was crushed. And so in that moment, man, where I was just weeping and crying, I just heard the Holy Spirit say, man, write so the next one can live. And when I thought about that, it put me at a position of like, well, I don't know what to write, man. So I grabbed my Bible and I just started journaling. And when I started journaling and connecting it with scripture, it was just like I took myself on a journey from where I was broken to the point that I was able to realize where my identity was at, my purpose in life, and was able to heal through a lot of things that I went through dealing with my past traumas and dramas of my life.
Wow. And to share it with others. So maybe they don't want to deal with those dramas. They don't have to deal with those dramas in their lives, or that trauma,
Right.
or like losing your soldier to a thing that, like you said, survival guilt is a huge thing amongst our population or our community. Because
Absolutely.
even while in combat, like you lost a friend in the IED.
Yeah.
Why wasn't it you? Why wasn't it me? Why wasn't I in that vehicle?
Yes.
Why was
Yes,
I?
man.
Why did the IED not hit the fifth vehicle where I was? Why did it hit number 3?
Right.
And why am I still here? Why not them? And then when we lose them to self-inflicted or adrenaline-based stuff, it's even harder because you might have just talked to them like 2
Yeah.
days before maybe, and then now they're not with us anymore. So it's a survival guilt is huge. We had a person on here, I think 2 months ago, talk about the moral injuries. The moral injuries we bring back from combat. Everything aligns with PTSD, but it's two different things.
Mhm.
Moral is something, it's within you. It comes from the faith. It comes from what God teaches us and what the Bible teaches us. And it's something that a lot of us don't address right away because we don't think it's a problem. And because
Right.
it's all PTSD. Have you seen any of that in you or any of the people you talk to?
Yeah, I've seen it in myself. I've experienced, areas of my life where I had to really it's a tool that I call the 3 R's, and it stands for recognize, reflect, and release. When I recognize, I call out what's really going on inside of my head, right? I don't try to numb it down. I don't try to hide it. I name it. And then, the pain loses power when it exposed. I always say an enemy exposed is an enemy defeated, right? And so then I reflect. I ask myself, what is this pain teaching me right now? What is God trying to show me? And then the reflections turn pain into wisdom. And then from there, I release it. I surrender it to God through prayer, journaling, talking about it, to someone who I feel safe with. Let me say that. And then I release the brokenness. I release the cycle of just trying to carry it alone and by myself. So during the time, that's what I do every time.
Recognize, reflect, and release. That's a great, the 3 R's, the 3
Yeah.
R's of Sylvester. That's great right there. That's a book right there. Just those 3 R's. You can make a short book out of that, and things to do to be better each day, and one chapter on each one. That's outstanding.
Yeah.
Jay Collins said, "That's awesome testimony, brother," in there in the comments. He's loving that I have a lot of faith-based guys coming on lately. I think in the last month we've had the most we've ever had on the show within a month period, and
Okay.
it's a good role right now. And it's not by that we're looking for them; th're coming. And I did look for you, obviously, but that's just just a divine intervention, us two meeting each other a couple of years ago and still staying in touch and
Yeah.
being able to follow each other via the great world, the good part of social media, to help us stay in touch with each other, even though we live probably 3 minutes from each other.
Right. Yeah. But yeah, absolutely, man. I believe that like when we intertwine with one another, man, this is a network. This is
Right.
for us to be able to collaborate, connect, and grow when it comes to everything that we're supposed to do to end the enemy that is destroying a lot of our brothers and sisters in arms, our veterans, when it comes down to every situation dealing with isolation, suicide ideations, depression, anxiety, all these other things, man. Like, one can put a 1,000 to flight, but two can put 10,000 to flight.
That's right. Just keep doubling it up. Like we talked in the green room about our connection with Robert up the block here, his family,
Right.
and small world. Because I'm 7 houses away from a guy you went through leadership Clarksville with, and now
Right.
you're bonded forever. And then my company commander from Fort Campbell, Paul Rhodes, who owns the Tropical Smoothie Cafes in town,
Right.
him and Robert are connected too. So it's this whole big circle of people, like a Venn diagram of people that all know each other, intertwined. And when you talk to people, do you know those people? Yes, I do. Like, oh my God. So it's crazy that we all know each other, but we never are together all at one point.
Yeah, man. It's a brotherhood, man. You know how the military works, man. It's small but big.
Exactly. And my wife always gets on me everywhere we go. I see someone I know.
Yeah.
Sure. Same thing.
I experienced the same thing, man.
Why do you have to talk to someone everywhere he goes? I guess I'm a likable person. I don't know.
Right.
I thought I was evil in the military, but I guess I wasn't. And it's able to have good friendships through life.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely.
Are you working on a next book already? Because I know we talked about this a little bit in the green room. You asked me about mine. Now I'm
Yeah.
asking you about yours.
Yeah. So honestly, I am not currently working on another book. I am more in the mode of ensuring that people just find their way to Christ, man. I believe that one of the biggest things that you can ever share with somebody is your faith in order to help them to bring light to the darkness. So that's been my total mission and my why here lately.
Outstanding. And we talked earlier, staying out of that darkness is big for both of us to help our
Yeah.
brothers and sisters. And that's great that you're able to get out there and do that and get that why. There's plenty of people here within our small community here in Clarksville that really need that nudge right now.
Yeah.
And we don't know what they're going through, but we know they're going through something. We know they have pain and they need to come out of it. And if we have the power, let's help them get out of this thing. And all 3 of our shows during the week, we say that. And I know you do this every day. Probably you go out there and to help people. So that's amazing for you. And I know it's hard to do that every day and still get back in your house and say, what do I do next? Because it weighs on you too when you do that, doesn't it?
Oh yeah, man. But I got this thing, man, called HOPE, right? It's an acronym because we all look for it, right? So HOPE stands for help one person every day. So if I just help one person, I don't stress myself out, I don't overwhelm myself, and I don't find myself in a position of where I'm not fulfilling my God-given purpose.
Outstanding. Help one person every day. And we got our first question from the audience in here, Sylvester.
Okay.
It's at Hell of Life. What was the turning point when you realized your pain could become your purpose? Thank you, Hell of Life.
Yeah, that's an outstanding question, and I appreciate you asking that. So I found myself at a position of where I was very isolated and alone. I wasn't really connecting with anybody. When I found my turning point from in going to turning my pain into purpose, it was during COVID. During that time frame, everybody is pretty much confined to their home, and I found myself on YouTube University. Watching YouTube University, man. I was going through sermons. I was also watching motivational speakers like Les Brown, Bob Proctor, Tony Robbins, all the greats, right? And every time I heard them speak, it just brought me to a point of where, like, man, I can do this. I think I could do this. But they were speaking life. And then, just comparing notes with what they was talking and the Bible states it clearly. Life and death is in the power of the tongue, right? So when we think about like the words that we speak, they create the harvest that we reap. So I found myself in a position where I was thinking that a lot of my conversation had been hindering my transformation. And so I just started speaking life into myself, telling me that I'm more than a conqueror, telling me that I'm a king, I'm above and not beneath. I'm the son of a true and living God. So when I started speaking those things, my life started to slowly change and transform into a way that I felt like I can impact the world. And so that's what I latched on to, and I've been continuing to do it ever since. So and during that time frame, I had to figure out, but the Bible also states that we are called to, defeat the enemy by the blood of the Lamb and the word of our testimony. So I knew I had a story. My brokenness, my pain, everything that I experienced and went through, somebody needs to know how to get out of it. So let me share with them exactly what I experienced in my life to connect with them, not on just just to connect with them in a way that would be like surface level, but spiritually too.
Definitely. And the thing you hit there again was the story. We've said this a
Yeah,
few times so far. That story, everyone has one.
everyone has one.
A lot of people don't think they have a story. All I did was X in the army, or all I did was X in school. But you did X. You did
Yeah,
X in both places. Write it down, share it, so that if something does happen to you, God forbid, your lessons are there for someone to read and
right.
be and say, "Oh, this person did this and was successful at it. Didn't even realize they were successful.
Yeah,
Do this too now. Thank you." And your legacy lives on, and then that person's name is said over and over again as you move forward in life.
right. Absolutely, man. I
And
love it.
I'm sure that's something that when you go out there and you're helping others, you tell them to learn their story and teach their story. Is that something that comes out to tell them that you got to have that legacy?
Yeah, absolutely. I believe legacy is one of the biggest things that you can ever have on this earth, right? Imparting or planting seeds along your journey can always grow into something way greater and way bigger. I once heard somebody say, even the fool know how many seeds are in the apple, but only God know how many apples are in the seed.
That's right. There it is.
Yeah.
And it takes a lot to learn. And I seen something today. It was Matthew McConaughey doing a quote to, it was supposed to be at Ranger School or SFAS. And he said, "I'm not looking for A's. I'm looking for, if you shoot for an A, you can get a C, but I'm not looking for the dude that shoots for C and gets an F. Because sometimes an A is not smart, but that's C, genius." Wow, I've never seen this quote before. I don't even know what movie that's from, but it's pretty
Yeah.
awesome.
That's
And
good.
thinking about all the guys I've known who've gone through SFAS or Ranger School and come back, I'm wondering if that's things that they heard them saying in their head when they're talking to them. But
Yeah.
I was just laughing. I laughed for way too long about that when I listened to it today. But it's something I could laugh about, and I'm
Right.
able to laugh about it. Some of our brothers and sisters, they can't find joy in anything. What do you do when you find someone that just can't find that joy anymore?
Yeah. So normally whenever I run into somebody who just can't find that joy anymore, I go through the motions of evaluating their situation, right? Once you evaluate their situation and their circumstances, man, like you think about the areas of where they probably been able to overcome in the past. And if you did it before, you can do it again. And the Bible says, count it all joy, right? Morning may be at the night, but joy come in the morning. So when we think about the situations of what we're experiencing right then in the present moment, tomorrow this too shall pass. It's a thing of the past. It's a whole new chapter. Every time that you wake up, every morning that you wake up, you get two things, a chance and a choice. You can either do it your way or you can do it his way.
That's right. And the fact that you're waking up, that's a victory.
Oh man, that's a victory in itself, brother. Like
And
me, I'm grateful, every time I wake up, I'm grateful for four things, right? Opening my eyes, being able to see, being able to move without any assistance, right? To be able to, find myself at a position where I'm able to speak, hear, all the small things that we commonly overlook. Like I'm grateful to get the opportunity to experience these things. And so great gratitude, man. I always try to have an attitude of gratitude.
outstanding. And something we preach here at the Misfit Nation is stacking victories. And
Yeah,
it's
that's nice.
the first thing you do in the morning. We get, like, for us, as we got older, getting out of bed in the morning without everything creaking and crackling, but you're still getting up out of bed. No
Right.
matter how many years you did in the army, you're gonna have some creaking and crackling in you.
Absolutely.
Get up, that's a victory. Make your bed, that's a victory. Stack them up every day, and each day keep that tally. So today I got 19. tomorrow, let's see if I can hit 20 and try to
Right.
beat it every day, get those victories. Don't worry about the things that go wrong. Every day something's going to go wrong. I don't care who you are.
Right.
Everything's not perfect. You're human. Something's not going to go according to plan, just like our plans in the military.
Yeah.
They don't survive the first gunshot. You have to be able to adjust, learn from it, and keep moving forward. Don't dwell on it or it's going to kill you.
Yeah. Control the controllables, brother.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Live life the way you can and control that which you can, so that way you don't go crazy every day.
Absolutely.
All right, we got another question. This is from Nancy and Kelly Do It. How did your time in the Army prepare you for your role as a pastor and a leader? Thank you, Nancy and Kelly.
Yeah, that's a great question. In all actuality, I think it gave me the sense of resilience and leadership. It gave me discipline as well, commitment, all of those things. I say that because you think about, like, you're going from leading people to combat, right? In reality, against foreign nations. Now I'm leading people into combat against enemies of spiritual nations, right? So we fight against, we wrestle against demons and all these other things, demonic spirits and all these other things. And when it comes down to me as a pastor, as a shepherd over people, I want to make sure that I equip them in order to be able to fight those battles in any way possible. So I think the transition was just me taking off the uniform. I still have a diamond on my chest in spirit.
It still tickles. It shines a little. And I think all of us have that still in us. We don't have to say that we are a first sergeant anymore or
Right.
sergeant. We just have that persona about us from having that drilled into us for X amount of years, 2 decades
Yeah.
of our lives, being a leader and leading young men and young women as they found their way through the service as well. It stays with you no matter what uniform you're wearing.
Right.
Now we wear different uniforms now. We're still proud of where we came from, of course. But we
Absolutely.
have to wear that uniform to lead is something that our brothers and sisters need to understand. You can still lead. You don't have to wear a uniform to lead. You can get out there and just mentor youth so that they're the next best generation, so they
Yeah.
know how to lead to the future. And I think that's what we're missing a little bit. Have you been able to go into the schools around here and talk to any youth and mentor them to be better humans?
Yeah, so I have not. So it's mainly been the students that we have at our church that I've
Okay.
been able to have conversations with, mentor a few, and just impart knowledge and wisdom of where I've been when I was their age, and try to tell them ways to navigate certain situations that they experience. You know, today's generation, they deal with technology. So one of the biggest things that we didn't have to deal with during our time was interaction with other people. They feel like they can do everything through social media or, you know, some type of technology, video games. Like my kids, like they got like PlayStations and they play with friends online and they think it's the coolest thing in the world. But I was like, man, I remember riding my bike to my friend's house, right?
Yes.
You knew where to go because you seen all the bikes outside of one person's yard. Like nowadays, that doesn't happen, man. These kids are isolating themselves, man, and that's where the depression comes in at. It's no companionship or connection with other people.
Or no true connection. It's
Yeah.
almost like that catfishing thing that went on like with Monte Teo when he got catfished,
Oh, yeah.
stuff like that. And these kids, they just can't turn off their device. The device is life. This is life. And
Yeah.
if we miss something on there, we're not part of the cool kids. And that's where that bullying thing, when we were kids, if you were getting bullied, you either fought it out in school, fought it out in the
Right.
play, and then it was over. You went
Yeah.
home and you ate dinner. And your dad yelled at you if you had a black eye or asked you, did you at least win? And
Yeah.
things like that. But now they can't turn it off because that bullying doesn't stop. It's
Yeah.
on that phone, it's on that tablet all day long. Unless you break into that and see what they're going through, we have no way to stop that unless we start putting our foot through those tablets.
Right. That's true, man. Great point.
I got a question from Jake in here. Do you feel that your connections with people who've never been in the military has helped your healing journey? Thanks, Jake.
That's a very interesting question. I got to think about that one for a moment. I honestly have been able, that's been one of the challenging parts I will say about this, because, you know, in the military, we're able to connect with other veterans or people that serve just off of certain things. You know, if I talk about like if I say a military time, or if I say tracking, you know, if you give those military terminologies, you're able to connect with somebody automatically, right? Oh, you used to be military, or you in the military. But civilian wise, it's been something that has developed and grown me in more ways than one, because I'm able to now regulate a lot of things that I might say or have to explain to an individual. So it gave me a level of patience. So I enjoy it, man. It's one of the beautiful things, because they're interested to know. And one of the biggest enemies, man, is not being able to express yourself in a way that would be interpreted to people in a major way.
And Jake also said in there that you can't punch your buddy in the arm over PlayStation that you could when you're playing baseball or something at someone's house.
Yeah.
It's just hitting to stop the game or whatever. So,
right.
And he said awesome to your answer to that question.
Thank you.
So right now I'm part of a Travis Mannion Foundation. We have a chapter here in Clarksville. I'm the chapter lead here. And we are trying to get into schools and to mentor children. We do something called Character Does Matter. And we list their character strengths. They do a little online survey, list their top 5, and then those that they need to maybe build up. But it helps them to understand where they're strong and where their peers are not as strong, where they can help them raise up. And that's something we do. And I think that'd be great for you at the Mosaic Church to get your youth involved with the CDMs and stuff like that, to help them to understand what their strengths are and how they can help each other to get through situations in life.
Oh man, that's awesome, man. Like if you got information, you know, share it with me. I definitely love to learn more about it, man, to see how we can integrate that with our youth. You know, definitely connect with my youth pastor in order for him to, you know, give his feedback and thoughts.
Definitely. We'll get that connected, and we'll start a relationship with a TMF and Mosaic and your side there. And that's another group of people that we're all helping. So
like
absolutely. Jake's, having civilians in your life, that's what those kids are. They're civilians, even though most of them are probably Army brats, but they don't speak the whole language yet. They know some of this right now from their parents, but not a lot of stuff. And it helps them to understand that they too can be the next leaders of this country.
Absolutely. Definitely.
And I just love that you guys do that stuff, and you have the youth classes there and stuff like that to get them, and you have the youth pastor to keep them in line and keep them out of trouble within the church. And then, of course, when they go home, they're able to celebrate the Lord in their own ways or their young ways until they grow into understanding it a little more.
Right.
Another question just popped in. This is from Jinru Daruf. I'm not sure what that means either. Many people struggle with identity and hardship. What's your advice to them? Thank you, Jinru.
Yeah, that's a great question. A really great question. And I always share with people, a lot of times when you think about like where your identity lies is where you're looking for it at, right? Some people look for it in the people that they interact with. I always say your environment predicts your requirement. And so a lot of times we don't look in the source of where our identity lies. I always give people the example of a cell phone, right? Now, you might have an iPhone, you might have a Galaxy, or you might have, what's the other kind of phone? I can't even think about it.
Google Pixel.
A Samsung. Yeah. So either way it go, all these phones have a manufacturer, a person who created it, right? And I believe, this is my thoughts and belief, that the only one who can tell you who you are is the one who created you, right? So when you think about who created those cell phones or whatever devices that they might be, like whenever something is broken within those devices, you don't go to just, if you got a Samsung, you don't go to iPhone. Right. If you got an iPhone, you don't go to Samsung, right? You go directly to the manufacturer of who created that product. And I believe that God created us, and that, you know, the only way to the Father is through Jesus Christ. So for me, I go to the manufacturer and I read my instruction manual, which is the Bible, and it tells me that I am fearfully and wonderfully made. This is part of my identity, that I am a son of God. This is part of my identity. So because I go to my owner's manual to operate at my fullest capacity, dealing with my identity, now I can be who I've been created to be? I know that was a long question, answer, but
I think
that's
that's the best way to answer it, though. If you would have answered that short, it would have been lost. The translation would have been lost a little bit. I think by doing the way you just did, it helped the audience, helped the Jinru to understand it there and get the full breadth of what you were saying. And I think it helps there. Jake, who's been asking the questions, his son-in-law is a pastor at his church up in Evansville, Kentucky.
Okay.
And so he's probably going to reach out to you to see if you want to come up there and speak there as well, because he's been doing that with all these guests. But I know that has helped him tremendously going up there and being a part of that church. When you came home, were you this faithful when you came home with God, or did you have to find it again and then wind up finding Mosaic?
Man, I would be honest with you. I was 1 foot in, 1 foot out. I was half hood, half holy. I wasn't all in when it came down to my faith and where you see me today. In all actuality, during the time that we initially had conversations during our first time, I was like in between, still trying to find my way, dealing with my faith. But due to the circumstances that I experienced, and I didn't have anything else to rely on but God. And during that time frame, man, he fulfilled all my voids in every area of my life. He filled my heart. And so for me, I said, man, I'm going to go all in. But just like anybody that served in the military, how can you follow a leader that you don't know?
Right.
So I said, how am I going to follow Jesus Christ fully and completely with all my heart if I don't know anything about him? So I started reading the Gospels. And when I started to learn about Jesus Christ, it just made me fall in love with him. And Jesus said, if you love me, you'll obey my commands. So I was like, man, hey, whatever he says goes. That's my commander in chief.
So you said, yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. 2 bags
Absolutely. Yeah.
That's outstanding. Got another question as you were talking that time. This is from As I Live and Breathe Too. What role does faith play in transforming brokenness into strength? Thank you, As I Breathe.
Man, it's one of the biggest things in your transformation process. Like I always tell people, like you can't transform without investing your time, talents, and treasures into an area of your life. We notice when we look at athletes on the football field, right? In order for them to be disciplined, they have to train. They have to give their time. They have to sacrifice. They have to do all these things in order to make sure that they go to the big leagues, whatever area of sports they play in, right? So a musician, in order for him to be at a concert or perform or operate at his biggest level, he have to invest time and energy. So when it comes down to our faith, in order to experience that transformation, we can't put this on the back burner. We have to make it a part of our daily life. We have to do it every day of our life. So, and including faith in that would help you to understand a lot of the areas of your brokenness, because what God can change for good, whatever the enemy meant for evil.
Outstanding. See, you have to give the full answer, and that helped out there too. I think that person, as I live and breathe, they'll be happy with that answer as well. Another one, I think this will be the last question we take in here from the audience here.
Okay.
Ood 2B3X. How can veterans and civilians alike live more purpose-driven lives today? Thank you, OOD.
Yeah. So me personally, man, I'm still standing on faith. I think it's a common ground. Just like whenever a soldier raised their right hand and was sworn in, given that obligation, we do the same thing when it comes down to our faith. You take an opportunity to say, hey, you'll serve those appointed over you, and you choose to make an opportunity to make that connection with faith in order to serve, Jesus Christ, who is appointed over you. So for me, faith has been that bridge to gap the connection between veterans and also civilians. It's a common ground that we can all stand on.
Outstanding. That's a great answer right there. There's no more questions in the chat. I usually have 2 questions to finish off with. I don't think I did this last time you were on. The first one is, what's the best way to get in contact with you?
So the best way to get in contact with me is at my website at SylvesterJenkinsIII.com. And you can just find me on any social media platform. When you go on there, you'll see all my social media platforms. Also find out more information about me and what I can bring to the table and be an asset to wherever you need me to be.
Outstanding. And the final question, this one's the one to put you on the spot a little bit.
Okay.
What's 3 things the Misfit Nation can start doing tomorrow to make them better humans?
Oh, man. That's I'll have to say, man, to make them better humans. That's a thought-provoking question. You good, Rich? You good. Three things. You know what I'm saying? I would say this. And I'm still stuck on faith, man. They can love God, love people, and make disciples of all nations.
Nice. Love God, people, make disciples. Outstanding. Sylvester, this has been great catching up with you. 45 minutes flew by tonight. Let's try not to make it 2 years between next time.
Absolutely.
Reach out when you have something going on you want to come on and talk about. Even if you want to just jump in on one of our shows and hang out and talk with one of the other guys, that'd be great to have you come on and just co-host with Jake and Steve, or co-host with me one night, just to get your word out there, or maybe get your thoughts to someone that's on the show.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I greatly appreciate each and every moment that we had this evening. I appreciate everybody that commented in, asked questions, and I look forward, man, to hearing back from you soon.
And hopefully next time you come on, we're even bigger and better than last time. Like you said, you could see we grew a little bit.
Yeah, I see the growth, baby. Yeah, man, I got to give you your flowers, man. Like, hey, I applaud you for your consistency, your resilience, and everything else you're doing to impact the nation, man, especially our brothers and sisters. Thank you so much.
Outstanding. Thank you, Sylvester, for your time tonight and hanging out with us. Misfit Nation, as me and Sylvester talked about tonight, if you're going through that journey through the pain, suffering, feeling that darkness creeping in, don't go it alone. Dial 988. Take option 1 if you're a veteran. Follow the prompts if you're not a veteran. We need you here. You are loved. You will be missed. A day tomorrow with you is 100% better than a day without you. So keep that in mind. Be humble, stay hungry, and keep hustling, because you know who we are here.
Thanks for checking us out and being a part of the Misfit Nation show. Don't forget to visit our website at themisfitnation.com. That's themisfitnation.com. Check out all our past episodes and get some of the great Misfit Nation gear for you and your family. As always, be humble, stay hungry, and keep hustling, because we are
Misfit Nation. Misfit Nation.